Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing another AoE4 civilization guide. We've got the HRE. I am committed to doing all 8 civilizations and making a guide for each one. And for each guide, I'm going to give you guys the best strategy that I found by playing ranked games at the top of the ladder. And for this week, or this day I guess, I don't know if I'm posting once a week. And for this video, we got HRE, the Holy Roman Empire. And the strategy I will showcase is going to be the professional scouts into Fast Castle, pick up relics, all in knights. It's a really strong strategy. And a lot of people might think that you're going to go men at arms if you're playing as the HRE because that's like the typical unit. It's an infantry civilization. However, I found that the most effective strategy with them is the all-in Castle Age knights, because as soon as you stop making knights, you can go up to the Imperial Age and get the Palace of Swabia, and it makes for a really nice turbo boom after a ton of Castle Age pressure, and it also secures you getting some relics as well, which is crucial for the HRE strategy. Before we hop into this one, I will really just once again reiterate that getting the relics is the most important thing when playing HRE. We'll make some units in Feudal Age just to secure those, like some Horsemen. We're also going to get the professional scouts to keep the food under the chapel, which I'll showcase in the build. But the most important thing is to keep track of those relics. Do whatever you got to do to secure at least 3 to fit in the Reignitz Cathedral. If you can do that, you'll have a ton of success with the civilization. But if you like strategic gameplay, this is the civilization for you. HRE, the Holy Roman Empire. Let's hop into it. Alright, so of course I'm playing against the AI just for this tutorial. I'm going to be showcasing a build order here, and I'm not really too worried about showcasing how to win the game with it against a real human. Let's hop into it and showcase how it's going to go down. We make a prelate. First things first, right out of the gate we make a prelate, and that's going to go straight to the sheep villagers. And with your scouts, just go ahead and scout the map and look for as many sheep as possible. The more sheep, the better, but we'll be going professional scouts anyway, so if you don't find too many sheep, don't be too bummed out. We're going to scout our side of the map because, again, we just need a consistent amount of sheep. We don't need a ton. We just need enough to get us towards the professional scouts. After you get the prelate out, you're going to have 4 vills come from your town center straight to the gold. If you float some resources with HRE, it's okay, because if you float resources, we're going to be having a market in the mid game anyways. We're going to have a market, and I'll tell you why. When you get 3 relics in your cathedral, you got to be an absolute Chad player to be able to perfectly balance your economy, because you're just going to be getting a ton of gold. It's almost impossible to balance your economy perfectly, so I'm going to showcase the market use in this game and this build to help with balancing your economy, so it's less strain on you, and in general it's like almost impossible to balance that much gold income anyways. Alright, I'm live streaming on Twitch, by the way, so we've got the Twitch guys in here as well, learning right along with us. But for the YouTube guys watching on YouTube, of course, I'm gonna be leaving a link into my Discord and to my Twitch channel. If you're a subscriber to my Twitch channel, I will have a PDF guide with all of these builders for every single civilization in a nice orderly fashion in my Discord. So feel free to join and join the Discord, check out the Twitch, and if you want to subscribe, you'll get that benefit. If not, it's lovely to have you here anyways. And just use your prelate to buff your villagers on sheep. It's actually bugged right now, and he's not actually buffing for some reason. Yeah, he's actually bugged right now, so I'm going to have to buff the gold vills right now. That's unfortunate. There is a little bit of a bug with the prelate, but it is what it is. We got to go along with it sometimes. Alright, we're going to go 5 to gold, in fact. Yeah, he's going to have to continue buffing here. There we go, he should be good now. So we're going to go 5 to gold, not 4. We're going to go 5, and then buff the gold villagers. Once they're all buffed, we're going to go back to the wood villagers. And then after you have 5, go straight to the wood here. And then use your scout to continue looking for sheep. Okay. Awesome stuff. I'm going to find a really good place for the chapel. I think you want to try to get all your resources in on the chapel, by the way. We're going to use food villagers to make that happen. Right here is perfect. Yeah, right here is perfect. It gets the wood villagers, it gets the gold villagers, and it also gets the food villagers as well, which is perfect. Alright, as soon as you click up, you want to get 2 vills off of the gold and go straight to the chapel. We're going to build it with 3 villagers. I'm going to send the villagers to the wood. You want to have, in total, 3 vills on food. Yeah, and you're going to have 3 vills on food, 3 vills on gold, 3 vills on the chapel, the rest to wood. Here, I'm going to use our prelate to buff the wood. It's very important to have the right ratios. I'm going to bring back the sheep as well. It's very important to have the right ratios because there's a lot of things we need to afford right now. To get professional scouts, we'll need to be able to pick up a mill. Is he buffing? I gotta make sure my prelate is constantly not bugged because of the little glitch right now. We need to pick up a mill, another house, and then a stable, plus the professional scouts upgrade. There's a lot of things we need to afford, so it's important to have the right build order here to be able to get them in good time. Alright, we're gonna use a gold villager, I believe, to make a house real quick, and we're gonna use a food villager to make a mill on the berries. Once you're fully buffed on the wood, you go straight to the straight back to the food, and you're gonna buff the remaining villas there. Those wood villages we're gonna bring back to the food, by the way, but it's really important to get a good amount of wood at this point in the game. And this guy will go back after making the mill here. It's gonna go back to the food as well. Excuse me. There it is. So now professional scouts, 275 gold, 75 wood. That's enough wood now. The rest of the villas will go towards the food. And all the villas building the chapel will go to gold after for 6 total. So these guys will go here. She has 14 food, so I will drop there and then go to gold. And the rest of the villas from now on will go straight to the food. We're going to get that fast castle in as quickly as possible. And the prelate will go straight into the chapel as soon as it's built. Awesome. First step, professional scouts. Next step, building a stable with a lot of villagers. And then going right back to the food with those guys. Now I'm going to go heavy on food. Like heavier than you've ever seen here. Because we really got to get enough food for the scouts. And then enough food for castlage right after that. 6 villas on gold constantly buffed are amazing as well. There we go. And make scouts as soon as you can now from that stable. Make sure that your food is under the chapel radius, which in this case it is. That's crucial. And now from your wood villagers. Wood is now the worst resource. We're going to make houses from the wood villagers constantly. And then using the scouts, we're going to go straight to take the deer. Now, if your opponent isn't doing professional scouts, I recommend you take your deer first. If he is, then maybe take his deer to kind of deny him that. But I think it's just good to take your deer because you want to get that food income, food right back to your town center. You don't really care to deny your opponent's food necessarily if he's not doing professional scouts. Wait, am I going to lose a scout here in a tutorial? Hope not. Okay, calculated. Let's go back. Hold on, go here. Let's go back to my base. Alright, and then everything on food and professional scout is ticking now. Get my scout back. And yeah, it should be good. So you take the deers, bring them back to your town center, and bring them to the chapel radius, and should be good to go. And I like to make a good amount of scouts. I mean, there's no real rule, but I like to go with like 4 or 5 scouts. I think that's a pretty good amount, just because you want to get the deer back as fast as possible. Alright, there we go. It's a little bit micro-intensive here, so of course, might not be the most beginner-friendly build, but, you know, it's pretty quick. You can learn this very easily anyways, how to bring back the sheep in good time. Takes a little bit of practice, but once you get it down, it's quite simple. There we go. Bring the scouts back. Awesome stuff. Getting the deer. And notice how I'm stockpiling a little bit of gold. Hera, is this build not refined? Did you make a mistake? No. We want to stockpile some gold because I have an idea to get some prelates out on the map of all things to get the relics in as fast as possible. When you find yourself nearing the right amount of food here to click up, we're going to have some food, some gold floating here. I'm going to make one more build and I'm going to make some prelates out on the map. Let's go continue to take deer now with the scouts. So after one more villager, we'll go straight to the wood. Straight to the food. Again, everything to food is very easy to remember. And then we're going to send some prelates straight out onto the map now to get the relics, which we should scout in the early game as well. Very important to scout the relics. Alright, and now we can click up. When you can click up, you send a lot of those from the town center. We're going to go for 2 prelates, by the way. So you want to pick up those 3 relics as fast as possible. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. And at this point, you want to make horsemen from your stable. Horsemen will help defend your prelates from wolves or enemy units. Wolves are very annoying. So I'm going to take this relic. Take the closest ones, by the way. You don't need to go far. Take the closest ones. This relic. And I'm going to take them out of my chapel. It's worth to do this, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's worth to do this. Take them out of the chapel to get the 3rd relic. Like, getting 3 relics, the game is usually just over after that. And villas will go straight onto the food. And by the way, at the same time, make more stables with your wood villagers. everything on food. More deer. That's the name of the game here. More deer. And of course, get some horsemen out in the field just to protect your prelates. Very important to do that. And once you get castle, we're going to take all 3 relics back instantly. And that is probably the strongest thing you can do with HRE. Take all the relics. Bring those back. Look at that satisfying sound when you pick it up. And at this point, we're going to just spam out the knights. So a few horsemen to defend yourself and then spam knights while continuing to bring back a deer. Now, at this point, we're going to send Vils to the wood line because we're going to need a little bit more wood. We also want a market down as well. And continue to spam 3 stable knights. You can afford 3 at first, but you can easily go up to more afterwards. Alright, let's pick up the relics. After the relics, I highly recommend you go for the sacred sites with your prelates. And then you put 1 back in the chapel, of course. Do not forget to do that. Whatever you do, do not forget to do that. Alright, go get your opponent's deer now. Put 1 there. And let's go for the 2 sacred sites now. And the reason you can do this is because at this point, you're going to have a lot of lancers. So if you're getting attacked, you defend with the lancers now. You defended the horsemen earlier. Now you can push back with the lancers. And if your opponent has range units, you want to get a blacksmith and get the archer armor for your knights. If your opponent has only melee units, you do not do that. Alright, let's get a market down. At this point, we're going to start floating a ton of gold. So we take the Vils off of gold and we go straight over to the food. Keeping a couple on gold only is okay, but you don't want too many. And at this point, you use your lancers to protect your prelates on the sacred sites, or you just simply attack your opponent. Attacking your opponent is the safest way to play it from now, because you find damage when he's still in feudal maybe, and you can really get ahead. And 3 relics is getting me, it's bugged here, but it's getting me 900 gold per minute, because it's 300 per relic. The overlay is bugged. And there we go, now we got a market. The game plan is very simple. We'll get a blacksmith just to showcase what it looks like if you're playing against archers. And we're going to get more stables. Use the market as you see fit. More stables, more knights. More knights we have, the easier the game is. Like, your opponent cannot hold knight spam from this position. Even if he walls, you just go forward to the siege shop. You pressure at all costs because you want to end the game. If you can't end the game, no problem. We go for the fast imp swab play right after. But I really like this cast stage pressure. Alright, let's continue to take the deer. It's important not to forget, as I did here, important to bring the deer as fast as possible so you never run out of food under your TC. Because if you constantly have food and you constantly have gold, that's all that knights cost. So now you just need a little bit more wood and you're good to go. And as you can see, we have that wood very easily. Alright, more stables. Hera, isn't 5 stables enough? Isn't it too much? Nope. Let's continue making stables. We'll even get the defense upgrade just to show you what that looks like. There we go. That's good against town centers. That's also good against archers. And you just continue to spam knights, and you can literally just destroy your opponent. Obviously, this is the AI, but against real players, they're not going to be able to defend knights anyways from this position. It's going to be very hard for them. So continue to do that, and continue to develop your economy by bringing in more deers. And if you run out of deer, you can take the mill for the berries. You got extra berries. You can start farming around the chapel. It's always good options as well. So that's going to be it for this builder, guys. 3 relics, double sacred sites, mass knights attacking your opponents. You can't really go wrong with this builder unless you get denied in the early game. The best thing that they can do is to pressure you in the early game and maybe wall in your relics or really put the pressure in feudal so you cannot get them. If they do that, you can defend with a Mangano using a siege workshop. You can defend with your knights and just wait a little bit to pick up the relics. But if they do only a few units to try to deny relics, we have a few horsemen to protect our prelates. And remember, there's 5 relics on the map to choose from, so if they're guarding 2, just grab the other 3. And it's very rare that the opponent will be guarding all 5 relics. It's very rare. Even at the top level, they slip up on that. So that's going to be my HRE tutorial. I hope you guys have enjoyed the Civ guide. I'll see you guys in the next video where we'll cover another civilization, and hopefully these are helpful for you guys. Peace.